But listen, guys, we're going to keep talking about the Grammys for a little bit longer. And what is quite possibly the biggest upset of this past Grammy Awards is that Phoebe Bridgers walked away with no Grammys. She made this post on Instagram, essentially commemorating that. Tacos for you one. Thank you. Saying, along with this post, here's a picture of me with the Grammys. Here's a picture of Phoebe Bridgers with her Grammys. Take a look at that. With her crystal skeleton outfit, which is pretty extravagant. I'm pretty sure I do follow Phoebe Bridgers. I'm just looking at this on my desktop. But yes, this is Phoebe Bridgers with her Grammys. Now, if you notice, if you look closely here, she is holding no Grammys. She is holding no Grammys whatsoever. No Grammys in the hands of Phoebe Bridgers. Now, Phoebe Bridgers going into the Grammys was one of the more nominated musicians and artists. Obviously not as many times as Beyonce. I think she had like 8 nominations or 9 nominations or something like that. She wasn't the most nominated, but 4 nominations going into a Grammy Award show is a fairly decent amount of nominations. Like you expect. I mean, that's more nominations than a lot of artists get. Many artists get 0 and have 0 chance of winning any Grammys. Phoebe had 4, which, I mean, again, that's pretty hype to go into an award show with 4 nominations. You could be walking out of that bitch with 2 fucking Grammys, 2 fat Grammys hanging out of your hands. But Phoebe walked out of there with no Grammys at all. And there's been a lot of discussion as to whether or not Phoebe has been robbed. And I thought it'd be interesting to go like kind of over the categories and, just like talk about whether or not that is actually the case. So let's see. The 4 categories that Phoebe was nominated in, Best New Artist being the first one that was, listed over here on many lists. Now, look, it is not my opinion, at least in this instance, that Phoebe was robbed because Phoebe had tough competition in every single category. While she went into these categories, one of the more popular artists and one of the more recognized artists of the year, she had tough competition in every single one of the categories. Megan Thee Stallion got this one. Megan Thee Stallion, tough competition. Megan Thee Stallion, one of the most popular and widely selling artists of the past year. Her rise over the past year has been absolutely meteoric. She is the it girl of the rap scene right now. There is like no one in hip hop doing the kind of numbers and getting the kind of attention that Megan Thee Stallion has been over the past year, from her music, from her singles, from her music videos, and from all that Tory Lanez fucking drama. Like, Megan Thee Stallion has been absolutely killing it. She was pretty much a shoo-in over here for the Best New Artist category. Moving over into the next couple of categories, we have the Best Rock. Let me see. We have the Best Rock Song, which ended up going to Stay High from Brittany Howard. Now, while, again, I would have not chosen that Britney track, I still think this is very tough competition. Fiona Apple, Big Thief, Tame Impala. Thank you very much, Hollywood Rebellion. Appreciate it. Tame Impala, one of the most popular music projects out there right now. They had a SNL performance months before Phoebe did. Like, they're a very well-known band. Kevin Parker is a very well-known artist collaborating with a lot of different artists out there these days. And, while Phoebe Bridgers has been hot for the past year, has she been kind of like getting the sort of notoriety with the stuffy, well-established, music community in the way that someone like Brittany Howard has, or someone like Kevin Parker has, or even someone like Fiona Apple did? I'm surprised that Fiona Apple didn't walk away with this one. But Spencer, appreciate it. But, Brittany Howard is very much, a musician's musician, a songwriter. I'm absolutely not surprised at all that she would have this kind of strong appeal in this category. So I would not say robbed in this instance either, because, again, it's tough competition. When it comes to Best Rock Performance, you're going up against Fiona Apple getting the freaking Grammy over here. And Shamika is a great song. Shamika is a great track. In my Grammys video, I absolutely, said I would have loved or would not have an issue with Shamika getting a Grammy because it is a great track. It is one of my favorite tracks off the Fiona record. While it is not, my favorite album from her, I think that's a great track. And I feel like as good as Kyoto is, personally, I do prefer Shamika, and I think a lot of other people do too. It's tough competition again. And then finally, we had a Best Alternative Album, which one more time, it's tough competition. Like the record's better than Beck. And, I think it's better than Brittany Howard, and The Slow Rush was kind of a bland LP. And look, as much as I am not as big a fan of Fetch the Bolt Cutters as a lot of people are, Fetch the Bolt Cutters is still like album of the year for most people last year. Pitchfork gave it a goddamn 10 out of 10. Fiona Apple is a well-established industry vet. And, there is kind of a theme with a lot of these, new Grammy award ceremonies where they seem to be giving Grammys to artists that they should have given Grammys to artists to like 2 decades ago, be it Fiona Apple or be it Nas. It's almost like trying to make up for just all, the ignorance to the actual artistry that was going on around that time. Although I'm not aware if Fiona Apple is a Grammy winner already. She may in fact be. But if she is, I'm sure chat will remind me. But, look, as much as I would have liked to have seen Phoebe walk away with at least this one, I feel like, from a personal standpoint, this is most definitely the category that I would have given her to, that would have given it to her. Mexican, thank you very much. Because I think she had the best record out of this batch. She won once. Okay, good. But again, there is kind of I think a theme where like a lot of older established artists that have kind of proven their, worth artistically with their classic back catalog, continue to get accolades today. And it is what it is. It was tough competition this year. However, Phoebe, I think, is still an incredibly talented artist. I think she knows that. I think the music industry at large knows that. And she'll most definitely be getting some awards in the future, I'm sure. I don't think Punisher is going to be the end of her career or anything like that. I think it's really just kind of the start because, look, indie singer-songwriters singing sad songs, and not to, boil her music down to just kind of like a stereotype. But, there's always going to be some kind of market for that. And there's always going to be a lane for that. And nobody has killed it harder in that lane than Phoebe over the past year. During a time, pandemic, when it's been hard for any artist to continue their career, to rise to the top, to get anything out, to form anything together, Phoebe prevailed. And I think she's only going to reap the benefits of that into the future as she continues to establish her sound and her brand and her style and so on and so forth. While this pandemic year has really sucked, nobody's going to forget that Phoebe Bridgers made an impact on it. So it should be interesting seeing her progress artistically from here and maybe getting more nominations and hopefully awards into the future. Thank you very much for watching this clip on TND Streams. To see more, subscribe to the channel and also click on the video link next to my head. Also, make sure to check out our other YouTube channels linked down below to see everything else we do week to week. And yeah, that's it. Anthony Fantano, forever.